Hello everybody, I'm in the violet today. Well, we've got a new moon coming tomorrow in Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign, so it feels like it's a very wordy thinking time. I don't know about you, I'm always think too much. But I just want to sort of say that I'm doing this video really to sort of soften up the one before. I feel a bit concerned about the one before, about the master, not about the subject, but about the intensity. I think I was having a real job holding the power actually, because it does come through quite a lot sometimes and we have to ground it, but I think I was having a job holding it. And also, you know, I was in a bit of a state as well, one of these kind of, well, feeling overpowered with the energy. There's so much of it about, isn't there? We've had these CMEs from the sun, and we've got a huge one coming tomorrow. So I thought I'd better do this video now because I won't have the energy tomorrow. I'll probably be in bed all day recovering. They really do affect me. Well, as I said before, we're electrical beings, and this power that comes from the sun, the solar flares and so forth, they are getting stronger all the time. And I think that's a lot to do with the incoming energy. And they do affect us. I mean, they give radio blackouts and so forth, so it's bound to affect us, isn't it, because we're electrical beings. So I'm doing this today because tomorrow we've got a big one coming. So today I've called this an ancient text. I don't suppose it's ancient. Ancient really means thousands of years ago, doesn't it? It's just a good word to use because I'm thinking of, I don't know, words are so important, aren't they? But this is something very odd. I found this in my paperwork. I was clearing out some stuff and I thought, what on earth is that? It's all handwritten in Biro, I think, written in 1986. 1986. Well, I know I started on my journey probably about 40-50 years ago. They Pleiadians say. I expect you've read the Pleiadians. My tatty book. Bring Us to the Dawn. A brilliant, absolutely brilliant book. And they say in there, some of you will have started 50 years ago, and it's true, because I think I had so much to go through. So I had a little room upstairs in my house with my husband and my daughter. Little room, little box, a bit like this really, with all my books. Then I used to sort of retire to this room every night and do my stuff. So I did this automatic writing. I don't know if you've heard of automatic writing. It's not going into trance, it's sitting with your paper and your pen and you just are receptive. A bit like channeling. It is channeling words, I suppose, but you don't hear the words. You just start writing. You're obviously in a different state of consciousness because the words, I mean, they come through so rapidly. It's quite a lot of scribble and they've taken me quite a bit of understanding. But I thought I must read out a particular portion of this. Not all of it, but it's beautifully written. I mean, these dear ones, the masters and the dear ones who are ascended, they're very, very careful with their words. In fact, I get cross with them. You can't have a conversation. You might get a yes or no, or a sort of a hint that you've got to work something out. But they are so aware of the power of the word, and it's true. It is a very powerful tool, especially if used wrongly. So anyway, he starts off, my dearest sister. Isn't that lovely? But it goes on. I'll just read out this little bit because I think we need a bit of gentleness and kindness, don't we? You know, and softness. I've fed up with all this. Here it started. You look upon the picture of me, which is but one aspect of my nature. You know me in many guises. Some you do not recognize. I am present in many forms, many mental and verbal expressions and gestures. The time is coming when I shall be present in a multitude of ways. Look for me, recognize me, and the love of the Father, for that is the love within you and where you will find peace. Isn't that beautiful? That is so beautiful. And he writes, honestly, you wouldn't believe it. I've got a whole chest full of papers written like that. I don't know what I would do with them all, really need collating, but I don't know, it's special stuff to me, I suppose, really. And when I die, my daughter's going to have a job. I'm going to have to clear out as much as I can. Books. The written word is my thing, obviously, and I love communicating. I've written books. I like writing. I like communicating. A bit obsessive at times. I send too many emails to people that get fed up with me. But that's because I'm on my own, you know. I'm lonely. But the word is very important. I mean, in the beginning was the word, and the word was God. And God said, I don't know what God said, but in the beginning was the Word. And that isn't at the beginning of the Bible. I think it's Matthew said that. And the Word is very important. You can actually kill somebody with a word. Not just a look, but the word. I mean, the walls of Jericho were taken down by sound, and trumpets were blowing, and the walls of Jericho fell. And words are very important. I know I've got a tendency to swear sometimes, which I'm trying to stop. But, words said in anger particularly can cut through somebody. When you see somebody in the supermarket yelling at a child, I cringe, because that child feels all that power, all that energy, and the negative of the words, and it sticks, it stays in. And I think that's what a lot of us are going through now, is clearing out all this energy, negative energy, words that have been spoken by parents and lovers, and they come out with the stuff. I've got to be careful what I watch on television, because some of the words, and I don't mean swearing, I don't mind the swearing, I don't mind the F word, I quite like that. I think it sums up a great deal, but it's the energy behind the word, isn't it? I changed my name. I used to be a Barbara Chant, Barbara Thorne, and I changed my name to Beth, and it came to me in a dream. And my surname is my mother's surname, because I feel, and I have been told, you change your name, you change your energy, you change the vibration. So that seems kind of very important, really, doesn't it? So this new moon in Aquarius is the new age, so there's going to be a lot of mental chit chat going on, and causing us a lot of problems. I'm not sure I've got much to say today. I think I've done this one really as a counteraction from the one before. I know I'm very self-critical, but it is difficult to get the balance right, isn't it? Especially when you're teaching something or expressing something, because I used to give talks on astrology, that's my special thing. And I was aware that, especially with the little old ladies from WI and so forth, I was much too, advanced is not the right word, but it probably was. I was too much, you could see them nodding off, because they just couldn't take it. And I'm not aware how powerful it is when I'm speaking and healing. I don't do healing now, but just the presence, being in the presence, the light energy, I think some people find that very difficult. And it's not what you say or what you don't say as much, it's just being you, because you've got a lot of light, and people run away from that. I found that. I don't know. It's sad, really, because you don't mean to upset people, and then it's not deliberate. But when you start speaking, I know when I start speaking, I've got to be very careful. I've got a very loud voice. And people, I've got into trouble. In fact, my husband once said to me, he says, "You laugh too loud." That's why I left him. So words and emails, well, that's another story, isn't it? That's the reason my daughter and I have fallen out, because she's a therapist, she's a Scorpio, she does mindfulness, and she's a therapist, and so am I in my own way. And we're doing this, and you can't talk to somebody by email. You can't argue by email. You use the wrong word, the wrong comma, and it's thrown everything. You may as well. It's no good writing to say sorry, because once you press that send, it's gone, isn't it? And some of the emails that she sends me are a work of art, and I thought I am with her because I'm her mum, and daughters and mums, So yeah, be careful with the emails and what you're saying and what you're singing. It's being aware, isn't it? It's being aware of what's coming out. I remember, I think it was one of the masters said to me, I was very concerned about eating, getting foods now. You've got to be careful what you eat. You look on the internet, according to them on there, you can't eat anything. I think even potatoes are, yes, because I've got arthritis. All the things I love, pasta, rice, potatoes, you can't have gluten, can't have this, can't have sugar. I think, what am I going to have to eat? So I'm not being too strict with that. I'm not going to let my body rule me, And I was saying this to somebody only recently in spirit. I talked to them a lot. Nobody else to talk to. And the answer was, it's not so much important what goes into your mouth, but what comes out of it. And that's very true, isn't it? It's just very true. And when I go over my videos, I think, oh wish I hadn't said that. I wish I, and it's not possible to be aware. Well, it is possible for people that are very conscious to be aware of everything you're saying and not just saying thinking. Because nowadays we're raising ourselves in consciousness, and believe me, they can all hear what you're thinking. Not just saying. I'm amazed. When I go to bed at night, there's a certain matter that clicks in my ear. It irritates me no end. And if I'm thinking or saying or doing something that I don't suppose it's criticism per se, although I do get cross. And I wasn't, I'm just thinking, and something is not right. So I think we do get. The higher you go, the more careful you have to be, because the whole universe hears you. I mean, every word, every thought, it goes out. The Master Thessalian came to see me today. When I talked about in my last video, I'm trying to upload a picture. I've got a beautiful picture of his face on my Facebook. I'm not very clever at this stuff, as you gather, and I'm trying to upload it onto my YouTube video. I think I could do a link if there's a file name, but there's not a file name, so I'm trying to work out how to put it. But he's becoming very special. He's a very good teacher, and he came today about something. I've got a habit of sitting here looking out the window into the east direction, which is the direction of clarity. And I don't meditate so much. I sit and look into space, and things come then. And what came to me was, I was in this past. Well, it's boundless, absolutely. Wasn't just space, it was this boundless feeling of boundlessness, and everybody's there. All the consciousness, like I said last time, it's all there. So it's a question of being aware enough, I think, of saying words that are not hurtful, not unkind, not angry, and of course we can't do it all the time. You just be aware that the possibility is somebody is listening to you. Anyway, watch out for this huge CME, coronal mass ejection. It's the sun thinning out, very powerful energy. There's been a lot lately, and it affects a lot of people. So be aware of this one tomorrow or the next day. If you feel really peculiar, I think a lot of it's to do with that. So anyway, I think I'll leave it. Gosh, 12 minutes! I can't believe it. I'm going to have to go. You see, I can rabbit on. Take care of yourselves, my darlings, and love you lots. God bless for now. Bye-bye.